time to make a video. Today's video is about getting stomach aches from trying to eat healthy food, but it makes you hurt. Why does that happen? How can you prevent it? What does it mean? My first experience with this was with watermelon. I've talked about this in other videos. Like, I would eat a watermelon and it would hurt, you know? And over time, I solved that problem. And now, I still can get pain if I eat enough of something fast enough. And I just want to talk about that, solutions for that, and the reason I think that happens. Because I've tried to find like some kind of scientific explanation, like layout of like, why is it that when you eat a lot of something or like drink a lot of juice immediately, it can hurt a little bit, and then of course it goes away. And a lot of people just like immediately say, "Oh, it's the sugar." No, it's not. It's not. Sugar? It does not. Sugar does not. Okay, if it was sugar, then the more you ate of it, the more it would hurt. Right? If it was actually like some ingredient in the food, but it doesn't work like that. Like, say if I if I drink 2 of these full of watermelon juice, which is like the juice that you'd get out of like a normal sized melon. If I just take these and go, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. After a few minutes, I'm gonna start to feel a pain, but then a few minutes after that pain will go away. And if I continue to just consume more and more and more watermelon juice, it won't come back. So that tells me it's not from an ingredient. It's not from any kind of compound in the food that you're eating specifically. Because if it was, then the more you ate of it, the more it would hurt. But that's not the case. Unlike some other things that give you stomach aches if you eat too much, like if you eat too much oil or too much cheese or whatever it is for you. Like, that kind of stuff is like, ugh, I feel sick now that I ate all that food. And then if you keep eating the food, you get more and more and more hurt. It's not like that with the juices and the fruits. With that, it's like you eat a lot of it and all of a sudden your body's like, whoa, that's intense. And then the pain goes away after a few minutes and you're left with this feeling of like total like just receptiveness of exactly that fruit that was giving you the pain earlier. So I think that what it is enzymes in your stomach. You have to have a little bit, and then your stomach begins to produce it begins not necessarily to produce, that's not technically correct, but it begins to secrete the specific enzymes necessary, the specific digestive fluids necessary for that particular food. And the reason why you really get it with the juice, the reason why you really get this kind of pain with the juices is because it's like a concentrated, like, form of the fruit. And so it's a lot easier to get it from those forms when it's really concentrated. And so and you can get it with anything. You can get it with banana smoothies, date smoothies, anything. It's not sugar. Because if it was again, I'll say it again. If it was sugar, then once you got the pain and you had more sugar, it would hurt more and more and more. But that's not what happens. You get the stomach ache. You start to eat it. You get the stomach ache. You take some deep breaths. In a few minutes, the stomach ache goes away completely, and then you just keep having more and more and more, and it never comes back. Why? It's because at first it hurts, because you're not ready for it. But then once it has enough of that in it, and your stomach has secreted the fluids necessary to digest it, all of a sudden you're open to having as much of it as you want. Which should be a lot if you want to subsist on like all whole plants. You have to be willing to eat a lot, just like animals do in nature. So, how can you prevent this? Well, I'll tell you that if if you eat like unhealthy foods the day before, and then you go right to the freaking watermelon juice when you wake up, that's a good recipe for hurting. So like basically as you get more and more raw or whatever, even if you're not going all raw, as you get more and more raw, more and more whole food, more and more fresh, less and less oil, you're gonna be more prepared to accept these kind of foods without getting that pain. And then as soon as you have some kind of unhealthy food, bam, the next time you try to have a big fruit meal, it's going to hurt. So one thing that you can do is be more healthy and have your body ready to digest those intense raw foods. That's just how it works. And like, it is kind of it's like a sensitivity issue, like as you get more and more raw, you get more and more sensitive to like unhealthy foods, but at the same time you get more and more able to accept the healthy foods. So that's one way to prevent it, is to eat more healthy. Another great way to prevent this is by drinking water, man. If you drink, so I would say I drink at least a liter of water before every meal, okay? And if I really want to feel good, I drink 2 liters of water before every meal. That means 2 liters when I wake up, 2 liters before, which is before breakfast, 2 liters before lunch, and 2 liters before dinner. And I don't necessarily just go, okay, time for water, glug, 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 2 liters now, but like between each meal, I want to fit in a couple liters of water if I want to feel my best. This really, really helps. Because, well, it just does. I'm not going to try to explain it, but it just does. If you're hydrated, your body works better, And so that leads me to the other thing. If you are well rested, your body will work better. Because when you rest, you're resting your muscles and everything, but you're resting your nerves. You're resting your organs. You're resting everything, that you need in order to digest. Digesting is physically taxing. Period. It's a workout. It really is. It really is. And especially for the raw foods, it's like it's gonna take some energy to get used to those. Now, see, with other like denser foods, or especially animal product foods, that just saps your energy away. It really does. That's like, it's not easy to digest those foods. But if you're always eating at that level, then that's kind of the level your body is going to be used to digesting at. And when you slam it with the raw foods, it's going to hurt. And so you drink water, sleep well, everything's going to be alright.